So what's up? It's your boy Sean P back again with another edition of Hip Hop Roundtable Reviews. As I said, I was going to come back with some new content with some of the new releases that came out recently. A lot of good music, a lot of hot hip hop is coming out now that we're in the fourth quarter, and a lot of good projects are coming out from a lot of notable MCs. So one project that was got a fair amount of buzz online, given it was part of the Seven Legends series, was the new De La Soul album, Cabin in the Sky. So with that, I want to highlight one of the lead tracks off of this album, and that's called Run It Back with Nas. This came out, I want to say, a couple days before the album dropped, and it got quite the reception online, as a lot of people were talking about it and talking about Nas's verse. So I want to go and review that song, and I want to pose another question: is Nas really a contender for Artist of the Year this year? Nas a contender for Artist of the Year because he's been on every one of the Seven Legend series projects, and he's made a notable presence on each one. He has a full feature album coming out with DJ Premier, which is an album that has been talked about for, geez, I don't know, over 30 years now, as far as their collab album. And I'm probably going to do a little bit of a preview of that album coming up. There hasn't been an official single with Nas and DJ Premier, but I do want to do a separate pod on that as to the expectations and pressure that's involved on this album. Either way, let's get to it. Nas Run It Back. So this was off of the De La Soul album, Cabin in the Sky. Overall, as an album, I'll probably do a separate review on this later, or maybe a quick take or quick picks. I wasn't too impressed by the album. It was okay, just to let you know. But this clearly was the standout pick and the standout feature on this project. Nas Run It Back. First, I love the beat. Overall was a dope beat. It had an anthem type feel for it. The hook came with a Long Island type of vibe, so you could definitely nod your head to it. The sample actually came from an old Police record, which for those who are not in my generation or before my generation, the Police are a notable rock group from the UK, and his lead singer Sting is a music legend, and this came from a song. The actual hook slash beat, which was kind of the melody of the beat, came from that, and I love that the way they sampled that. It had a very catchy feel to it. So the beat I really liked. I liked the energy of Podsanus and also Nas. I always had trouble with his name, Podsanus, is 1/3 of the group De La Soul, along with Maceo, and the unfortunate passing of the other guy, and I should know his name. As far as who it is, I'll get his name in a minute. Who passed away. So back to this song. I like the beat. I like the energy of this album, of this song. But Nas is, Dave. Dave was the other rapper who unfortunately passed away. I want to say, what was it? A couple years ago, unfortunately. Yeah, but so back to what I was saying. I like the beat. I like the energy of this record. But Nas's verse I think Nas really took off on this verse, and there was an aggression to it. His flow was on there. His wordplay and alliteration on there was fire. He brought up points. He basically made it a verse about hip hop and the current climate in hip hop. And Nas addressed the current down period in hip hop. He definitely addressed hip hop falling out the top 40, and that's what I like about that. Like Nas is so I don't want to say forward thinking, but current thinking, and he addresses what's going on in the times. And he definitely shouts out the only rappers that are really doing something of note. He called out Doechii, Kendrick Lamar. He also called out, and unfortunately, the only ones that were on the charts are like country rappers like Shabuzi and Leon Thomas that he called out, which is the truth, And he basically speaks to the state of current hip hop, current mainstream hip hop, that hold on a minute, let me get something, Tyler. Yeah, so basically Nas basically called out the current state of mainstream hip hop, and that bar had a lot of bite to it because it had a lot of truth to it, And I just love his energy on this, you know what I mean? So that's what I mean. This verse was fire. It was fire. I think this was easily the standout verse of this album overall. You know what I mean? And that's the crazy thing about it. Like Nas flexed on this verse, and it wasn't even like a minute long, maybe a minute, maybe a little bit longer than a minute. And man, he and Pod News, I'll get into what I didn't like. But Pod News, his verse was dope. He had a little bit of trouble catching up to the beat. He was a little bit behind as far as his flow is concerned. So, but I still liked his energy. He did bring it on there. So he still did a dope job, but he was a little bit behind on the beat. And the only thing I didn't like about this was it was a very short song. Like it was only well, I won't say it was a short song because it was still about like 3 minutes plus, but I wanted more from Nas. It had me wanting more. It was only about 3 minutes or so, but I wanted another verse, man. I mean, Nas owned this record. You know what I mean? And so overall, my rating for this song overall, I'd probably give it like an 8.5 to a 9, just cause of Nas's verse. I think it's an 8.5 song overall, but I think Nas brought it to a 9. Definitely. It's one of the standout verses of the year. But it begs the question because Nas flexed on everything this year. I mean, who can forget the Omerta verse, where the verse that he threw away was an alleged Jim Jones shot, you know what I mean, back to the criticism that Jim Jones had towards him, and then was downplayed as not a shot at Jim Jones, and Nas tried to throw cold water on it. You can say what you want. That verse was put out for a reason. And I think Nas did that as a little, slick little dig to let you know, you don't play with me, Jim Jones. Like, you're not on this level. And since then, Jim has kind of shut up about this, if you notice. But anyway, Nas, the Omerta verse, the original Omerta verse, he killed it on Mobb Deep Infinite Project. Even the songs on Ghostface Project, Slick Rick's Project, you could argue were the standout singles on those albums. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm leaving anything out. Mobb Deep, Ghostface, and he flexed on this one here, which begs the question now. I mean, Nas has put out about 6 to to 7 feature verses of the year that all stood out on those projects is Nas in the artist of the year category. And with a feature album coming up, you know, with DJ Premier, highly anticipated feature album, definitely from the golden and classic era generation of hip hop heads. Is Nas really in the running for artist of the year? I mean, of course, you got Clips. Even though you know GNX was 2024, you got to throw Kendrick in there. Um, you probably got to throw Raekwon in there, Freddie Gibbs, um, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But Ransom is someone which stay tuned for an album review from him coming up. There's a lot of good hip hop rap out there. Tyler the Creator is in that mix, given that he has 2 projects in heavy rotation right now. Is Nas back in that conversation? Could we have with the Nas and Premier album coming out, could we have another one of these debates, which is like, it's been like a phantom debate that's kind of been out there, but Kendrick Lamar versus Nas, you know what I mean? And it's kind of, you know, gone under the radar, but it's there because I see it in the online hip hop groups all the time. Like, who is really the king of hip hop? Like, is Nas representing the golden era? You know, Kendrick winning basically the current era? Because let me remind you, since 2020, Nas has been damn near flawless. He has put out a legendary hip hop run with Hit Boy, where he's arguably at least put out 1 classic, maybe 2. I mean, I'm speaking to King's Disease 2 and maybe Magic 1. Okay. He's flexed and killed it on all of these verses. He's reignited, if not taken over, the Jay-Z versus Nas debate, because Jay-Z since 2020 has really put out very little. And he's won a Grammy Award and performed at the Grammys. So it's almost like this DJ Premier Nas album is going to be a very interesting project, because I'm almost interested to see if this is going to rival Clips. If this is going to rival Let God Sort Them Out. It's a lot of interesting hip hop debates coming on, which is another reason why, like, I still want to stand on what I said. I think mainstream hip hop is definitely falling off, but I think hip hop in general and real hip hop has really, really produced in 2025. This was a better year than last year, definitely. So I'm really interested to see what Nas and Premier bring to the table. But anyway, tell me what you think. Run It Back, De La Soul, and Nas. What do y'all think about this record? Because I think this record gets a 8.5 to a 9 out of me. Nas's verse, Nas killed it on this. He flexed on this, and Patanus, who's a notable lyricist and a legend in his own right, because De La Soul is a legendary group. He's a legendary lyricist, Grammy Award winning as well. You know, he ate him up. That, oh my God, he ate him up. And Patanus's verse was good, but it wasn't what Nas's was. So you tell me, Nas, Patanus, Nas, De La Soul, Run It Back. What do you think? What did you think of this song? Tell me what you think in the comments. Definitely let me know. Like, share, and subscribe. We'll be coming back with some new content shortly. And I'll catch up with y'all soon. All right. Peace.